Hello there, everyone. Well, it's about to be good afternoon, but I'll say good morning. Good morning because it's still 11:59 a.m. Eastern time zone over here in Toronto. But good morning, and soon to be good afternoon to everyone out there tuning in. Let me know in the comments the audio and video is clear. I just want to make sure I am indeed live. Looks like the notification has gone out. Awesome. Just wanted to confirm that, folks. There's been a bit of a glitch here and there with LinkedIn Live, but let me know in the comments. Who you are, where you're tuning in from. Shout out to everyone on Facebook tuning in, on LinkedIn, obviously on YouTube as well as on Periscope. So shout out to everyone tuning in, and let me know in the comments the audio and video is clear. Let us know who you are, where you're tuning in from. Represent your city. Let us know where you're based out of. We got BT Nandu in the house. Hey BT, nice to see you here. Appreciate you tuning in. Let me know in the comments, folks. So today's a really awesome. Okay. So we got the comments coming in. Hey, Druti, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate that. We got Shatija in the building, all the way from India. Wow, thanks for tuning in, Shatija. Appreciate that. Yeah, let us know in the comments, folks. And we got Joel. Hey, Joel, thanks so much for tuning in. Good to see you here. We got Pallavi. Good morning, Pallavi. Thanks for tuning in. Well, actually, technically now it's good afternoon here in Toronto. Vrushali, good afternoon. Vrushali is a BA from Toronto. Awesome. BT Nandu says good noon to you. Thanks, BT. Appreciate that. We got Rahul who says good morning from Toronto. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Rahul. We got Divyesh. We got Iris. Hey, Iris. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And now before I bring on my fantastic guest who's been a previous guest on my other show, which is my Tech Talks show, which is on Tuesdays. And so previously I brought Eno on the show, and the focus was more so on the actual role of the business analyst. We will be touching on that today, but for the most part, today's conversation is going to be more so like a career discussion regarding the business analysis career path. I'm going to have Eno speak about her, how her career path has been, the challenges, mistakes that BAs make in their career, all of that good stuff. And feel free, folks, all of you put your questions in the comments. Just have a few more shout outs here. We got Manpreet tuning in from Winnipeg. All right, Winnipeg is in the house. Thanks for tuning in, Manpreet from YouTube. And then we got Ebenezer from Toronto. Thanks for tuning in, Ebenezer. Appreciate you. We got Vinod also from Toronto. Hey, Vinod, thanks for tuning in. We got Snail. Good afternoon, Snail. Thanks for tuning in. And we got Zafar from our nation's capital, Ottawa. Zafar, thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, folks, so I'm going to, just a few announcements before we get this thing started. So firstly, for those of you who are in tech here in Toronto, TorontoJobs.ca is organizing the virtual, they call it the TO Tech Career Fair, which is taking place in August. I will be presenting at the career fair. So if you haven't already, make sure you check it out. So it's going to be August 25th. The entire session is from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sorry, not the entire session. The entire conference is from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. I will be speaking, I believe, at 3 o'clock. I'm specifically speaking about how to effectively utilize IT recruiters in your job search. There will be other great speakers in the conference, so there's a variety of other topics as well. So if you want to check out that, I believe they are handing out free general admission tickets right now. So feel free to check it out. The website is right there. It's totechcareerfair.com. So make sure you check that out. And happy to see you there. It's a great conference. And you can learn a lot, not just from myself, but from the other speakers. Also, for those of you who missed it, my Tech Talks guest this week on Tuesday was Adil Maan. We spoke about technical program management. Adil has a great career in BlackBerry. He's worked at Apple, Google, currently at Nike, and he spoke anything and everything about technical program management. The replay is up on my profile, so make sure you check it out. And without further ado, today's guest, who I'm going to bring on shortly, is Eno Eka. And again, I've been in touch with Eno for a while, and she is a previous guest on my other show, which is Tech Talks. And just to give everyone kind of a brief introduction about Eno. And so Eno Eka is a business analyst and change manager based out of Calgary, Alberta. Right. So it's still morning for her. So when I bring her on, folks, say good morning. Don't say good afternoon, like for those of us in Toronto. She's an award-winning career coach and speaker who has been recognized for helping more than 5,000 immigrants kickstart their professional careers in Canada. That's amazing. She's a business analyst, content developer, and course instructor at the University of Manitoba. She's the head coach and principal consultant at Any Consulting Inc. In 2 years of arriving in Canada, Eno has touched the lives of thousands of immigrants to Canada. She has curated mentorship and coaching programs for immigrants to Canada, which have sought her recognition and awards globally. And Eno is an embodiment of service as she volunteers with several nonprofit organizations to help immigrants to Canada integrate successfully and become gainfully employed. Eno volunteers as a mentor with helping other people succeed. HOPS, shout out to HOPS, a great organization. Calgary Region Immigrant Employee Council, and is a study group leader with IIBA Calgary. She also volunteers at the Calgary Drop-In Center and Calgary Dream Center. She's a giving back sponsor for the Women in Need Society. Eka is the LinkedIn Group Manager for Canadian Business Analysts and Project Managers Network and Canadian Professional Immigrants Network, and Facebook Group Manager, Business Analyst Network, where she provides support to immigrants in Canada. She's the host of the podcast Career Talk with Eno and Chichi, where she shares valuable insights on job search tips and strategies for new immigrants. Her awards and achievements include Forbes 30 Under 30 nominee 2020 education category, Calgary Top 40 Under 40 nominee 2019 and 2020, Universal Women's Network winner 2019 award for mentorship, RBC Women of Influence Award nominee 2020, Canada's Most Powerful Women Top 100 Award in the RBC Future Launch Future Leaders category, Top 100 Black Women to Watch in Canada 2020, RBC Top 25 Canadian Immigrant Awards nominee 2020. I voted for her, by the way. And 2020 Talberg Eliason Global Leadership Prize nominee. Globally recognized and featured by the IIBA for the CBAP Journey campaign, host of the Global Business Analyst Online Meetup, IIBA Global Corporate Member, IIBA Endorsed Education Provider for all IIBA certifications, authorized training partner for Agile and Scrum through Scrum Study. And finally, she launched the Business Analyst Accelerated Coaching Program, where she's helping 1,000 professionals start their business analysis careers. Amazing guest today, folks. Make sure everyone gives a very warm welcome. She's taking out time to speak with all of you and share her journey. So make sure everyone gives her a very warm welcome. Eno, thank you so much for your time and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dan. Happy to be here, and thank you for your vote as well.
You're welcome. You know, I was very excited to see you on there, and you know, you're so active on LinkedIn. You provide so much value. So, you know, I definitely wanted to vote for you, and I wish you all the best. And have they come up with the final nominees, or where's that at?
That should be in the second week of September. So
got it. Awesome. So, folks, is the voting still open, by the way? Let me get these people to vote for you.
No, it's closed already.
Oh, okay. No worries. But yeah, really appreciate your time, Eno, and you know, thanks so much for dropping in. And you know, obviously, you're someone very qualified, you know, and a great positive role model for anyone and everyone who's seeking this career path as a business analyst, and you know, obviously a great role model for the newcomers, but not just the newcomers, obviously for you know, anyone in this space that you're in. So before we get started, we do have a few shout outs from some people tuning in. We got Adenike, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, from Manchester. Thanks for tuning in. We got Anum from Toronto. Thanks, Anum, for tuning in. We got hey Aniola from Winnipeg. Thanks for tuning in. We got Chris from Winnipeg. So a lot of people from out west tuning in. So appreciate that. But I'll continue to give the shout outs, folks. Let's get this session started, because I know all of you are eager to hear about Eno. So Eno, I mean, if we can kind of kick things off, and you know, your story is very inspirational. So can you tell everyone, you know, how has your journey been into this space of business analysis? And if you can tell all the viewers and myself about that.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for having me, Dan. And good morning, everyone from here in Calgary. It's a beautiful day out. So about me, as everyone knows, I never hesitate to share my story. I mean, if you go into my profile, you read where I've shared my story and my journey so far, because I like to document, you know, my current state and my future state, always looking at where I was, where I am, and where I want to be. So like you all know, and if you haven't, I started my career in accounting. Studied accounting, practiced accounting for a bit. But I was fortunate to be involved in more of projects and initiatives that were delivering a lot more value to the organization than just my basic accounting duties. So it kind of sparked my curiosity in what the project managers were doing, because I was more involved in project management activities. So I thought to make a slight change into project management and business analysis. Let me just put it out there that I'd always been passionate about technology and improving business processes. And I wanted to sort of do more and be more. And that's really how, I went into business analysis. And this happens with a lot of people because we just accidentally find ourselves involved in this kind of initiatives. And then there's that awakening that, oh, I can actually do this. Right. And that was me, just like a lot of people who are now very interested in business analysis. I was, just like you years ago. And then I decided to, take some courses, learn more about what project management is, what business analysis is all about, take courses, get certifications, get mentorship and coaching. And then, starting to work on bigger projects and getting more exposed to, business analysis, as it is. But the key thing, which is something I just want to state early enough, is that everybody is a business analyst, right? We've all been carrying out business analysis activities. So there's really no one that, got out of university and said, oh, I want to be a business analyst, or I am a business analyst. Right, it's something that you just find yourself doing. And that's because a lot of the activities that we carry out as business analysts are things that everyone here does every day. So, Farah, Adenike, Zafar, Christopher, you all do it, right? So if you've been involved in helping an organization increase their revenue, save costs, improve the business processes, improve their customer satisfaction, improve employee retention, those kind of engagements are what business analysts do, because you're seeking to always improve things. You're seeking to always help the organization.
Yeah.
So as a business analyst, you're basically just delivering value. So when I was able to recognize the fact that everything I was doing was business analysis, I then embodied it, and then improved on myself to become a business analyst. So brief history into, how I came into business analysis.
Awesome. I love that, Eno, because from what you're saying, you live and breathe business analysis. You see everything as business analysis. I think that's fantastic. And I think, and from my perspective, for me, it's like I see everything as recruitment, right? So, and I think that's so important in your profession. And that really, I guess allows you to excel in your field as well. Now, the question I had for you, Eno, you didn't come from an IT or technology background. I believe your qualifications in early on were in accounting, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, can you speak on this? Because I get this asked a lot of times as a recruiter: is, hey, Dean, I don't have an IT background. I don't have an IT degree or anything. I'm definitely interested in getting to a business analysis kind of a role. Is that a hindrance, Eno? Like, did that prove a challenge for you coming from non-technical, trying to get into a BA role? Can you speak about that?
No, not having an IT degree, like a computer science or computer engineering degree, never was a boundary for me or a challenge for me. Instead, what I did was basically understanding how technology helps to improve the business. So, whatever you studied, you just need to, be passionate about technology and innovation and sort of improve your knowledge. So, because of the age we're in right now, everything runs on tech. Businesses are trying to automate everything. We're moving from a paper-based system to an automated, software and technology-driven system. So you should also be going with that flow and that change. So you should adapt to the new systems and processes, basically. So if you don't have a technical degree, that's fine. But you just need to also open up your mind, to what's happening in this industry that I'm in. What are the new things that are happening, the cool things happening with technology? See it as something that's cool. You being involved in an implementation, you should find that as really cool and exciting. And that's what I did, right? You're going to automate something that's manual and make it automated. Find it as something that's cool and exciting. Do your research, learn, ask questions. The best way to learn is actually on the job, doing things, asking your developers questions. Why are we doing it this way? And then they'll tell you, right? So, and as you're going through, with your work, you're learning new things, on the job. So it definitely doesn't stand as a challenge, only if you see it as a challenge. And even when employers ask for computer science degrees, engineering degrees, you should still apply, because you only need to be able to communicate the value that you have to offer. So do your research, know why they need someone with that degree. Maybe it's just an implementation. And if you're able to speak to, things you've done in the past or the research that you've done, you can still stand a very good chance on getting that job.
Gotcha. So from what you're saying, yeah, and that's great advice, by the way. And mindset obviously makes a huge difference here. And what you're saying is, look, if you think it's going to be a hindrance to you, it will be a hindrance.
Definitely.
So you got to change that perception from what you're saying.
Yes, totally. Mindset is very key. Whenever I run my master classes and webinars and information sessions, I talk about the 7 pillars of business analysis. And the first is always the mindset. If you think you can do it, then you can. If you've already been involved in all these things, why can't you continue doing the same thing? Regardless of the kind of software they use, the kind of tools they use. The bottom line is that we want to deliver value to the organization. We want to be able to recommend solutions to the organization. So regardless of whatever technology the organization is using, your mindset is, I can do this, I can help this company. And I just need to be able to communicate that I can actually deliver value. And then when I get on the job, I should be able to solve problems. So as a business analyst, you're constantly solving problems. That's how you deliver value.
Got it. Understood. Now, the other question I had for you, and obviously you seem very extroverted and that type of a personality. but I guess for the viewers who might be more so, maybe a little introverted, or maybe they're not as vocal or extroverted, but they still, they want to make they want to get into the business analysis career or path. I mean, how can they kind of account for that? Like, what are your any advice for individuals who might not be as, because the human interaction is very important as a business analyst, correct?
Exactly. Yes. So, I had someone, join my program in May, and the first thing he said, "Oh, I'm very introverted. I don't think I can become a business analyst." Blah blah blah. But these are the lies we tell ourselves, because you interact with your family members every day. You interact with your friends. So who says you can't do this with your coworkers and your stakeholders, right? Today he's working with an oil and gas company here in Calgary as a business analyst. In just 2 months, he was able to achieve that without becoming an extrovert. He's still very introverted, still very calm. The key thing is understanding that your interaction with your stakeholders is key to the success of your project, and your communication skills, which are your verbal skills, speaking to people, organizing meetings, interviewing them, and also your written communication, emails and documentation is very key. You do not have to be, sort of all over the place. But what I find is that know your communication style, what works for you and what works for your stakeholders. That way you're able to sort of adapt to their communication styles and yours. You don't have to, people are scared of maybe facilitating like a large workshop. Maybe you may not have to, depends on the context of the project and the kind of organization you're in. The organizational culture also matters. So you shouldn't be scared of being introverted. Be happy and be excited to help, right? I believe in building relationships with your stakeholders because you need to gain their trust. They're very key in the success of your project. So regardless of how, whether you're introverted or extroverted, build those relationships regardless. You have family and friends, and you've been able to build relationships with them. So why can't you do that with your stakeholders? I think it's really just a mindset thing that you have to be extroverted to be a business analyst. I do not think so at all.
Right.
To be honest, we spend a lot of time, developing documents and also in meetings. But however, you may not always be, hosting the meetings, and you may be working in a team. But guys, don't let those excuses stop you from actually getting analysis.
Love that. Yeah, folks. I mean, look, just because you might have a different personality, don't use that I completely agree with that. Don't use that as a reason to not pursue where you want to be in life, right? Yeah. So 100% agree with that. Now, in terms and sorry for the viewers, I do see we have some questions. I will get to the questions shortly, folks. So feel free. Any questions you have for Eno regarding the career path of a BA, definitely put it in the comments, and we'll get around to that shortly. So in terms of challenges that you've had in your career, Eno, can you describe some of the key challenges you faced that you overcame that some other BAs who are kind of mapping out their career might be experiencing, where you can share some wisdom there?
For sure, definitely. I think the first thing is the job descriptions. So I tell this to people all the time. When you see a job description and you know that you can deliver value on that role, you know you can do it, and you know they've just put in so many technical jargons, and it makes you just start to doubt yourself, still apply.
Yeah.
A lot of us want to, check all the boxes 100% before we apply for a role. No, don't do that. Don't do that at all, because the truth is, 50% of the time when you get into that role, it's totally going to be different from the job.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really do not know why, but I've seen a lot of copy and paste for JDs. I don't know who writes out these job descriptions. Also, sometimes, these job descriptions are written by HR associates that really do not really know the context of the role in itself. They go on Indeed, they go on Google, and they just copy and paste. And you would see a regular business analyst role, and the job description looks like it's for a developer, right? So do not let those very scary job descriptions, make you scared. Still apply, right? If they reject you, that's fine, but at least you took that shot, right? It's better than what if I apply for that role, or you see someone I'm like, oh, I really saw that role, I should have applied. I'm even more qualified than he is, but he took a chance on himself. So don't do that to yourself. Still apply. Take the opportunity if you're given an opportunity to interview. Go out there. Speak your value and let them decide if they're going to take you on or not. But the onus is on you to take a chance on yourself and believe in yourself. Another thing, another challenge is the technical words and jargons that are used. So if you're transitioning to business analysis, you're going to be learning, new terms that are used in the business analysis world. Do your research, right? If you've gone through a course or a program, then you may have had some exposure into what these terms are. But however, when they start saying technical things like that, do your research. It's up to you to learn, to go further and learn more, right? So if you wanna be in tech, you should start doing some research about the technology side of things. If you want to be in healthcare, in manufacturing, you should know the terminologies used in that domain. It was part of one of my initial struggles with all the technical languages being used. And I'm like, what are they saying? I know how the technical guys can be. They're just talking blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this? But then again, I'm writing down all these things and I go back and I do my research. And the next time I come in, I'm speaking just like them. So, you have to, and that takes me to the next point. You have to continuously improve yourself. I find with a lot of business analysts, you get that job, and then you do not improve yourself. You're not learning new things. You're not improving yourself. That's also one of the struggles that a lot of new business analysts find. Another thing is also networking. Some people, get that job and then they become so content. I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy and content where you are, but keep networking, keep building your network. As you're improving yourself, reach out to people, build your network, because you never know, opportunities could come to you by building your network. It could come to you by joining organizations and communities. Leverage, building your network. That's also very key for you in your business analysis career. Also, another thing is, once you start in the business analysis career, what I find is most people start with like a functional BA role where they just do basic things like writing documentation. But as you grow, you want to start thinking about what's the roadmap for my career. Do I want to become a specialist, maybe a software specialist like ServiceNow or SAP or Microsoft Dynamics? Do I want to specialize in a domain like banking, like healthcare? Or do I also want to kind of move into a specialist role like cybersecurity analyst, data analyst, agile business analyst? Do I want to become a product manager, a project manager? Chart a roadmap for yourself and know where I want to be in the next 5 years or 10 years. And, let your manager know, or whoever you report to, and say, this is really what I want to do. This is my personal development plan. And if there's any way you can support me, I'd like to take some courses. I'd like to, take a diploma. I'd like to take a certification, but have a roadmap for yourself and your career, and don't be stagnant. I always say, don't be a vanilla BA. Try to gain other skills along the way.
Got it. Got it. Fantastic advice. I especially like what you mentioned, about how job seekers, they get the job and then, they start working, they get into the routine and all that, and they completely forget about the thinking ahead. And totally agree with that. And for those of you listening, folks, the best time to keep networking and continue networking and start networking, if you haven't been networking, is while you have a job. You want to set up your chess pieces before you need to move them, right? So I think that's fantastic advice.
I like to say something, Dan. Why is it that when people are in a role, they're a lot more attractive to you, recruiters, staffing people? Why are they a lot more attractive? It's just funny how, when you're in a role, you're a lot more attractive, right? So don't kind of turn your backs to new opportunities is what
exactly.
I would say. Yeah. I don't know, you're sort of more attractive because you're actually doing the thing, and there's that belief that you can keep doing that thing. That's what I think.
Actually, no, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. That's exactly it. Because when you're working and employed, then the recruiter or even companies that are trying to poach you, what they're thinking is this person is probably delivering a lot of value. That's why they're employed, and this organization is paying them and keeping them on board. They must be getting a good ROI. That's the thinking, right? So absolutely, 100%. So folks, keep that in mind and think ahead. So great advice there, And so in terms of the mistakes that people make in their careers, and not just their careers, but also in their job search. Anything additional you can mention about that from a career standpoint?
Well, there's a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. So what I find is, with a lot of people, the first thing they tell themselves is, I don't have the experience. So they kind of self-sabotage by saying, I don't have the experience, so I'm not even qualified, which is definitely not true. Like I said before, if you've been involved in a lot of all these activities, you definitely have the experience. You just need to know how to translate your experience so that it's catchy, it's attractive, and they want to speak to you. So on your resume, on your LinkedIn profile, when I see it, am I excited to talk to you? Do I want to learn more about the things that you've done already? So being able to make sure that your resume communicates the value that you have to offer as a business analyst, regardless of your title. So guys, the definition of a business analyst is anyone who carries out these activities. And, I talked about these activities: analyzing the business needs, devising new strategies for the business, recommending solutions, delivering value, collaborating with stakeholders. If you've done any of these things, you are a business analyst. So make sure that your resume states that you've done these things. Look at what the organization is looking out for, and make sure you can align your experience to what they're requesting. So firstly, people say, I don't have the experience, which is wrong. So if you can actually communicate your experience on your resume, on your LinkedIn profile, then that would be amazing. You get those opportunities for sure when you start applying. And then what I find is a lot of people stay stuck with throwing out applications. You tell me that you're looking for a job, and I say, okay, what exactly are you doing about it? And you say, well, I've been applying. I've done 1,000 applications. Well, have you spoken to anyone? Have you chatted with anyone? Are you using your LinkedIn to connect with people? I've never taken an opportunity for a job without talking to someone in that organization, speaking to them, trying to see if I could get a referral. And even if I can't get a referral, speak to someone in that organization, ask questions, learn more about the culture, learn more about the role, research who the potential managers for that position are, take a look at their profile, try to connect with them. Going the extra mile, goes a long way. So a lot of people, they just focus on applying online without networking. They don't also leverage connecting with people, who always constantly have these roles, like recruiters. I find a lot of recruiters, they post on their profile, say, my client needs 5 BAs, my client needs 6 project managers. If you're in the GTA, send me a message, that kind of thing. So you want to make sure you're using LinkedIn to network. Another thing is the lack of confidence also plays out in a lot of things. You can see the lack of confidence, in how they structure out their LinkedIn profile. They don't
Yeah.
state their accomplishments and the value they have to offer. And you get on the profile and you're like, this person they want to be, or is this person, can this person really do this?
Yeah.
Also, even in the interview, the lack of confidence shows because they're not even confident in themselves. Therefore, during the interview, they don't really speak to the needs of the organization. And it comes from doing your research, knowing what the organization needs. Why do they need to hire a BA? Why do they need me? Right? What does the organization do? What products or services they offer? Are they trying to improve their processes? Are they trying to implement a new solution? Why do they need me? And how can I help them? Right. So during the interview, you want to be confident in your abilities, not overconfident, but confident in your abilities to help that organization. And it shows in your interview. You should genuinely care about that organization. It should be
Yeah.
evident that you've done your research about that organization and that you can come in and start delivering value. So all these things are mistakes that a lot of business analysts make. Another mistake that they make is not thinking about the long term. It's a
Yes.
long term game, right? I tell people, if you want to really do this, then you should take it really seriously. So look at the market, right? I live in Canada. I look at the job descriptions. I say, what are employers looking out for in business analysts? What's a common denominator in these job descriptions? And if there is anything that I do not have, how can I get it? If it's certain certification that's a common denominator across all the jobs across Canada, then I think I should have it so I can stand a chance. If there's this certain skill that I lack, then I should definitely go get it so I can stand a chance. Another thing that I also find a mistake a lot of new business analysts make is that they don't focus on their competences. They focus more on all the tools and the technologies. Every organization is different, right? Every culture of organizations are different. You can't know all the tools and all the technologies and you lack the competences. You definitely won't last as a BA or even on that role because it's more of the competences that actually help you on the job. And that's why with the interviews that BAs have, they're asking questions that relate to your communication skills, your influence and negotiation skills. They're asking questions relating to how you work with a team. They want to know how you manage your stakeholders. Those things are really, really key. A lot of BAs focus on learning all the shiny, tools and shiny objects. They want to learn 1,000 things. However, do you really have the competencies that an organization would see and say, he'll be great for our team? Right. So you want to make sure you focus on your competences as a business analyst because that's also really key. And these are really the soft skills, my problem solving skills, my communication skills. You want to focus on these things first and build up on these things before you even say, oh, I want to become a certified BA. Right. So I tell people to get through the competency guide and you look at the competence of a BA. How many of these do I really meet? Can I really do this thing? Is what you should ask yourself first.
Fantastic advice there, and folks, for those of you watching, I hope you guys are taking notes because Eno's sharing some great information here, and what I'm getting from you so far, Eno, is definitely a very proactive approach.
Exactly.
Like you're not just you're saying don't just sit back and expect things to be handed to you. You're saying do your research, be proactive. Do a market analysis, compare the job descriptions, look for what's popular, what's not so popular. And taking a proactive approach. I think this is something a lot of job seekers might struggle with. Just my experience as a recruiter, I find that a lot of job seekers, they expect certain things to be given to them or handed to them. But the fact is, folks, I mean, we're living in the internet age. I mean, everything's on the internet. There's a lot of great resources. All it takes is sometimes a quick Google search to find out some great resources where you can do your research and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I tell people there's YouTube, right? There's Google, where you can actually find out all this information with regards to your career path, the job search, right? You don't wait for things to be handed to you. For me, I interviewed someone recently for my organization, and during the interview, I asked the question, and she was like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe when I come in." I'm like, "Uh-oh, you didn't even research what I do. You don't know exactly what I offer."
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that is very key. if you're not speaking my language already, you can't be on my team, because you wouldn't know how I serve my customers, what I do, because customer service is very key to a lot of organizations. So they want to know, does this person kind of flow with our organizational culture? Can this person be a great blend into our culture? So you want to make sure you've done your research. It's so key. I find a lot of job seekers, I mean, sorry to say, but a lot of people are selfish. They don't really go into the interview and show that they genuinely care about the organization. They
exactly. So it's so true. So true.
They haven't done their research. You just want the job. What about the organization that's employing me, right? Have they recently suffered, maybe a data breach, and that's why they need me? Or are they trying to enter a new market? That's why they need me. Or is there a new competitor in town that's taking away their customers? That's why they need me. Have you really done that research? And are you speaking to the pain points of the organization?
200. I mean, that was so well said, Eno, and you hit something, that's right on the knob, and by the way, folks, we understand that a lot of you might be, in kind of a pressure situation, right? Maybe you're unemployed, you're looking for the work, you have your stress, how do you pay the rent? How do you pay your mortgage? Totally get that. But what Eno is saying is that ultimately the business is meeting to find out if you can help them solve a problem. So 100% agree with you, Eno, and that's great advice there. Now, another thing I wanted to ask with you, Eno, and I know you had some interesting thoughts on this. Some people think, okay, I want to get into business analysis. I want to work for the big companies. I want to work for, the big banks, or, Ernst & Young or Deloitte, which is great.
That was me.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I read that. That's why I wanted to ask you this question. So, but your viewpoint has obviously since changed. Can you talk to the viewers about that?
Yeah, for sure. So for a lot of us, we want to work for the top 5 banks. We want to work for the big 4 consulting companies. We want to work for the popular companies, the big shiny companies. The FANGs, right? However, you're looking to get that opportunity. Say you're making that transition. You're totally new. It's not like, I'm not saying you can't get it right off the bat. You can. However, I like to say give yourself opportunities to grow in sort of medium and smaller organizations, because with a lot of these organizations, they give you that opportunity to grow. You're taxed with a lot more. You get more exposure, and you learn a lot of things. I mean, for me as a new grad, a new BA, it was like I was doing 10 things at the same time, but I was actually expanding and opening up myself. Now, I share that story because I was actually supposed to be doing accounting, right? But for some reason, I got more involved in project management. If I was in one of the big 4s, I would just be focused on probably doing my auditing or doing corporate advisory or doing taxation, because they're very streamlined like that. But because I was in that kind of organization where it was very fast paced, I was able to be exposed to so many things. And you learn on the go, and you build your experience, and you get the exposure you need, and you kind of discover yourself a lot more. If I didn't have that opportunity and that exposure, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So guys, look out for these smaller organizations and, take a chance on yourself. I mean, if they give you that opportunity, why not? Take it. Don't say, I must. I mean, it's good to have desires and goals. However, take any opportunity you can and, get on with it, start gaining the experience along the way. And then trust me, those bigger organizations, once you've built your personal brand, you've got some experience, those bigger organizations will actually even start, coming to poach you, So take a chance on yourself. Don't always say, oh, I must work for these big organizations. And because of that, you're still seeking for a job for 3 months and 4 months, just apply, really. Just apply. No, don't judge. Don't judge, just apply.
Yeah, totally. I mean, have an open mind, and just I'm not a business analyst, obviously, but I had probably the positions that I worked at that were at smaller organizations were the ones where I probably learned the most.
Exactly.
Because you're just doing so many different things, like not just one particular thing. So great advice there. And I do see the questions here, Joel. I do see your question. I see a question from Raksha. I'm going to get to the questions also for Shatija. I'll get to your questions, folks. Thanks for putting those in. Feel free to continue putting the questions. Also, shout out to Munir. Thanks so much for your feedback. Glad to hear you're enjoying the shows. So in terms of let's talk about branding, before we start, wrapping this up, but
Okay.
obviously you have developed a very strong brand for yourself as a business analyst, as a business analyst coach. And I've said this before, whenever I think of business analysis or business analysis coaching, I think of Eno, right? uh, so I guess my question to you, Eno, is kind of twofold. Firstly, do you suggest the importance of personal branding for all BAs? And second part of the question is, how can the business analysts in the audience, how can they start doing this and developing their brand?
Firstly, I suggest personal branding for everyone. We should all have a personal brand. Start building your personal brand. The thing about this times we're in, Din, is that I don't need to meet you to know more about you. I can Google you. When I Google you, what do I see about you? I see you're a tech recruiter. I see your YouTube channel. I see the first thing that when you Google me, the first thing you see is my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, LinkedIn, you did well on the SEO. So that's instinctively, that's the first link anyone is going to click. When they click on my LinkedIn profile, what do they see about me?
Yeah.
Right. So you want to think about when someone Googles me, and organizations do that today when they're recruiting, when they're searching, they Google you. What do they see about you? So build a brand for yourself. Be known for something. I choose to be known for business analysis. It is my passion, is what I do. I definitely changed my life and my orientation about my career journey. And I like to share that. And I like to help other people. Now, what are you passionate about? Right? If you're passionate about business analysis, there are some people that I have followed them on LinkedIn because of the things they do. I followed you on LinkedIn, Dean, because of what I saw you were doing. Right? I'm like, he's dropping great tips and nuggets. This is fantastic. I'd like to, hear more from what he has to say, because what you were given was top notch. So what do you know that someone can learn from you? What information do you have? Don't hoard your knowledge. Share, create content, write articles, write posts, comment on people's posts, engage with them, build your visibility that way. Be known for something. There's a lot of people that when you see their picture, something comes to your mind. That's how you build your brand. So please, you're passionate about business analysis. If you are truly passionate and you just don't want to come into business analysis because you want to make money, because you hear that BAs make $100 an hour and so you want to do it. But if you're really, really passionate about it, start showing us how passionate you are about it. Let's get to know you, the real you, what you do for work, what you're passionate about, the kind of projects you like to work on, the books you're reading, the courses you took, the certifications you got, whatever it is. Start building your personal brand. LinkedIn is a fantastic avenue to do that. And the great thing about LinkedIn is it connects you to people around the world. The top CEOs have a LinkedIn profile of all social media. You can actually become friends with anyone by being LinkedIn connection, by showing genuine respect for what they do, commenting on their posts, and they get to kind of notice you. And when you reach out to them and you want to have a chat with them about what they do, they're really, really open to getting on a Zoom call with you, because they've seen what you do, they know what you stand for, and you've connected with them. So please build a personal brand. It's very, very key. LinkedIn is a fantastic way to build a brand. You want to start a YouTube channel, fantastic. If you like video, if you like to write text, start creating posts, start doing things that will get you seen and noticed. There's zero cost for advertising, really zero cost for advertising. And the opportunities will start coming to you. I mean, someone like Dean can share that the fact that he's been doing this, for free and helping people, opportunities have come to him that he didn't have to go pitch for. Right. And that's what happens when you build a personal brand. You find that you don't even have to apply for jobs, or people put you for opportunities. You'll be amazed. I shared experience, but I said I had one time a CTO of a bank actually sent me a DM on LinkedIn. I'm like, am I dreaming? So it does happen. It does happen, guys. Build your brand, be known for something, connect with people, share knowledge, comment on people's posts, and that's the fastest way to become visible on LinkedIn. Commenting on people's posts. If you know this trick, you will do it all the time, and then also create your own content. Build a personal brand. It's so key. So key. Everybody.
And folks, don't underestimate what Eno said about the commenting. If you're too shy to put your own videos or your posts, commenting and engaging on other people's posts is a great way for you to get started and get your thoughts out there, and use it as a way that's how you make yourself more visible, just like Eno is saying, right? And
Yeah.
especially if you think strategically, actually, okay, if you're a BA watching this, you see Eno post something. If I was a BA here, what I would be thinking is, first of all, okay, Eno is very visible, like everybody knows Eno, like who's in the BA space. Maybe if I comment and engage on her post, maybe someone else sees that comment and they get to know about me as a BA. Maybe I'm looking for work and I make myself more visible, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like you're piggybacking, but of course in an ethical way, and you're not taking anything away from Eno. You're getting her attention by commenting on her post, but you might be getting something out of it for yourself as well. So think
Yeah.
about it strategically. Like, don't underestimate it. Commenting, engaging, very important. Everyone completely agree. Great thoughts there, Eno. Now, Eno, any final thoughts on any job search advice, tips or advice for the BAs? I know you shared a lot of great information.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, or any motivational tips and advice for those who might be struggling in their job search?
Well, I'll just like to share something I always talk about, which are the 7 pillars to success in business analysis. So it first starts with the mindset, right? How can I help organizations? What have I done in the past that can help any organization? Is the mindset that I can do it. When you start telling yourself, I can't do it, I don't have the experience, I never had that title, right? You've already self-sabotaged yourself. So the mindset is very key. Starting with a strong mindset, building your confidence would really, really help you getting started in the business analysis field. Trust me, people who are BAs don't have 2 heads. We have 1 head. We're not extra special. We're people who just stood up to the fact that I want to help organizations, and they see themselves as internal consultants, whereby they're looking at the business processes, the things we're doing, they're trying to improve things. So if you're already doing this, then you're already a business analyst. You just need to step up your game and embody it, right? So leveraging your experience, you want to get into business analysis. What experience do I have right now? What have I done over the years that I can leverage to get into business analysis? So leverage your experience. Your past experience still counts. People say, oh, I have 10 years of experience, I want to get into BA. I had 10 years in sales, I want to get into business analysis, I'll go in as entry level. No.
Yeah.
It still counts, right? When
Yeah.
people say that, I look at the profile and say, you have 10 years of experience, why do you want an entry level role? That's because they feel they should come in at entry level. So your experience counts. And then gaining knowledge, right? So like, Dean said, gain knowledge, Google, YouTube, whatever you need to do, gain knowledge, understanding what business analysis is, what are the standards used for business analysis, look at the IIBA, go to the website, register, become a member, get access to their library, start reading business analysis books, read the business analysis book of knowledge, understand how and what it's like to practice business analysis, and then improve on your skills. So like we talked about, what are the skills required for a business analyst, right? Go online, look at the global business analysis survey, look at the skills required by all organizations and try to improve on those skills. So if I have communication skills, I want to improve on that. If I have skills with working in a team, then I need to work on my teamwork skills, whatever it is. And then if they're also skills that relate to actually doing things like on the job, then find a way to learn those skills. Then another thing is leveraging certifications. So, if you've gotten some experience and you're qualified to get a certification, then go ahead and get it to help validate your knowledge and your experience, and then of course improve your employability and your earning. So try to leverage certifications, your business analysis career. Another thing I would like to talk about is coaching and mentorship, which is one of the pillars. So as you grow your career, you need a coach, you need a mentor. There's really no one that's very successful that never worked with a coach or had someone to coach or mentor them, right? So get coaching, get mentorship, learn from people who have gone ahead of you. That's how you succeed in your business analysis career. Also, continuous improvement, continuously improve yourself. Do not become a dinosaur. It's so dynamic, the business analysis world, that you need to constantly improve yourself, learn new things, right? Read books, expand your mind and your knowledge. Don't say, people come meet me and say, I want to become a business analyst, but I don't like IT. I hate IT. I'm like, you're using IT right now. You're chatting with seriously, guys, seriously. So please, you cannot say, oh, I don't like tech, I don't like IT, blah, 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 blah. No, expand your mind, open up yourself to learning new things, right? To continuously improve yourself. And with all these things and a combination of everything, you definitely have a successful business analysis career.
Wow, fantastic. That was a mic drop right there. I like fantastic advice. Appreciate that, Eno. We got some great positive feedback from the viewers. We got AO says, great advice, Eno and Dean. Awesome. Thanks, Eno, AO. We got BG who says, yes, I truly agree with Eno. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, BG. We got Adenike. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, who says this is really eye-opening. Thanks so much for tuning in. Miriam says it's always an eye-opening experience listening to you both. Thank you. Our pleasure, Miriam. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the questions, the Q&A part, can you tell the viewers, because I know you provide coaching services for business analysts. Can you speak? Can you let the viewers know more about how you can potentially help them?
Okay, so I can potentially help you in different ways, and I'll just list three. So the first way is if you want to become certified in business analysis, then you could get your business analyst certification. We have a certification prep course to prepare you for the business analyst certifications with coaching alongside to help you succeed in your certification. So the ECBA, CCBA, and CBAP, whichever you want to take. Also, if you're already certified, you have experience, and you're sort of lacking in the mindset and the interview and networking skills and everything else that you need to get a job, then you can take advantage of career coaching. So business analysis career coaching. And right. Then we have the accelerator program, which is my signature program that is a combination of everything and more. So with the accelerator program, you learn how to leverage your mindset and your confidence to get into business analysis. You get access to the certification prep as well. So you get access to the PDUs for certification and become a certified business analyst. Also, it includes Scrum certifications as well, Six Sigma certifications, all inclusive in that program. And then we have, mindset coaching, career coaching, in-depth career coaching for, from your resume to your LinkedIn to interviews, everything that you need basically. And then we have also live sessions to help you analyze what the situation is and how you can move forward. So those are the ways I could help you, either with certification prep, career coaching, or with the accelerator program that's all in one, that gives you more access to everything that I have to offer. And the truth is, guys, it's not as difficult as it seems. I find that we ourselves are our own kind of stumbling blocks. We kind of are kind of our own obstacles, because first we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do this, or I can't afford this. When you take away the can't from the situation, then it becomes something that you can actually do. And there's one of my favorite quotes that says, whether you think you can, you're right. Whether you think you can't, you're also right. So the choice is yours.
Awesome. Fantastic. So yeah, folks, make sure you, for more information about that, make sure you connect with Eno. By the way, Eno, what's the best way for people to reach out to you or connect with you? Are you open to new LinkedIn connections? Should people follow you? Or okay.
Definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. Eno Eka is my name. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to help you. Also, I have a lot of content on my LinkedIn profile with live sessions I've done with several professionals. I've done myself. I have a YouTube channel as well where all this is hosted for you, and articles. And I like to share, what I'm learning, and also share advice and tips and strategies that have helped me in my career. I basically like to use my life as a lesson to other people, so that you can learn from my experience, and you don't sort of make the same mistakes that I made. Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, folks, highly recommend you follow and connect with Eno. She practices what she preaches, right? Everything she's been telling you, throughout the session, she does herself. So again, thank you so much, Eno. Appreciate that. Let's get into the questions. We do have a few minutes here, Eno. So thanks for your time. We got Prabeen, who says, hi, Eno. How do you feel your BA role balanced with personal life? So I guess he's asking about the work-life balance.
Well, I have very good work-life balance. You should be able to get done with work and focus on your personal life. For me, why I feel I'm very passionate about business analysis is because it sort of became like a lifestyle for me. I've always been someone who's constantly trying to improve things around me, move things around, make things better. I'm always thinking about new ways of doing things. you tell me something, I'm thinking, why don't you do it this way? Why don't we do it this way? In fact, a lot of my family members say, this is not business analysis. We're talking.
Yeah.
But it's really just the way I am and the way I think. So I've kind of had a blend with practicing business analysis and being agile in my life, but
Yeah.
I'm also able to strike a balance between work and my typical day. And I like to go on vacations. I like to travel, so take time off work and just go rest.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And Praveen, I hope that answers your question. We have a question here from Joel. Shout out to Joel, who tunes in quite frequently. So Joel says, Eno, I'm an experienced business analyst back home, but I'm struggling a lot to get interviews here in Canada. I'm using customized resumes, cover letters, even video cover letters. I'm reaching out to some recruiters in my network and also using different websites like LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster. What else could I do to improve my chances of getting interviews? Any additional thoughts on that, Eno?
Video cover letters. Was that a thing, Din? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm not sure about the success of those, but
yeah. All right. So Joel, I'm not sure what you're doing wrong. So have you gotten interviews yet? If you have, what was the feedback from the interviews? If you've been applying and haven't gotten an interview, then you would need to look at what you're using, the resumes, the cover letter. What are you saying? What language are you using on the resume? Is it really a good match? What I find is with a lot of people is they want to move into business analysis, and then on their resume they have things on the resume that are not a good match. For example, I see someone say manager, right? Branch manager or sales manager. I don't think you should have that like on your resume. What kind of keywords are you using? Are you stating the value you can offer based on the accomplishments from your past projects? Are you also going above and beyond to reach out to people in those organizations and having a quick chat to get to know more? I can't really say, but I think you should also have someone else review your resume for you, have someone look at your LinkedIn profile, and then these recruiters you said you're connecting with, what feedback do they have for you based on if they've sent you to any of their clients? Was there any feedback? You should get that feedback and work on it. Also, I would say for the roles you're applying for, are there some things that you felt maybe would have been an obstacle to you not getting that role? Was there something that was a must-have that you didn't have? I can't really say for sure, but try to take this back and see if you can work on it and see how that works out for you. Feel free to send me a message.
Awesome. Thanks, Eno. Joel, I hope that helps. And just to kind of some additional thoughts there, Eno pretty much touched on it, but it depends on which part of your job search cycle you're experiencing the barrier or the block.
Exactly.
If those initial phone calls are not converting into interviews, could be something occurring on that initial conversation. So you might have to investigate that, Joel. So make sure you look into that. I have time for one more question, folks. Let's see here. So I'll pick out one more question. So we got Shatija who says, hi, Eno, what are the certifications that can be taken up which are advantageous for BA?
The IIBA certifications for sure.
Okay.
Look at the IIBA certifications based on your years of experience. There's definitely one for you, either the ECBA, the CCBA, or the CPAP. So go to www.iiba.org and you look at the certifications tab and see which of the certifications you can take based on your years of experience. I highly advise you take those certifications. And besides, that's what a lot of employers ask for. If you're here in Canada or even in North America generally, the IIBA certifications definitely hold water for you.
Awesome. Fantastic. Hope that helps, Shatija. And before we wrap this up, we have a few shout outs here. We got Zafar says, thank you very much, Eno and Dean. Thanks so much for tuning in, Zafar.
Thank you.
And sometimes it does this. It doesn't show the name. So the mystery person says, thanks, Eno and Dean. This is great. Awesome. And they also said, so applicable for all careers. Yeah, absolutely. Well, can I squeeze in one more question, Eno? It's
definitely.
Okay, got it. So this person asks, thanks for the informative session. In today's market, projects are moving into Scrum. As a BA with experience, what certification is better, CBAP or Scrum Master for the future?
I would say which one is better. As a BA and you experience BA, having the CBAP certification puts you at the highest level. It validates your experience and knowledge, so you should have the CBAP, as well as getting a Scrum certification. I definitely agree with you that a lot of projects are using Scrum, which is the most popular of all the agile methodologies, so our framework. So you should definitely look into getting a professional Scrum Master, certified Scrum Master, whatever it is, get one of those. However, I wouldn't say either or, I would say and for your case. Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Eno. And whoever asked the question, unfortunately, not showing your name, but thanks for the question. Hope that helped.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up, folks. Eno, thank you so much for your time. You spent an hour with us.
And, wow.
Yeah, you shared so much great information that'll help the BA viewers who are struggling in their career or maybe just need some direction. And for those of you who want to reach out, connect, directly to Eno, feel free to reach out and connect with her for more information about how she can help. And make sure you follow her. Great person to follow in the space. For those of you watching, thanks so much for tuning in. If you found value, make sure you like, comment, share, so that this information can be made available to everyone in your network. And make sure you tune in every week where I do these sessions, and hope everyone got some great information out of it. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Eno, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.